Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Y'all, what's up? Howdy. Howdy.
Howdy, y'all. We are
Ye
back,
fucking ha.
ye, and I cannot express this enough. This is your girl Kaya and your other girl Monty, and we are back to talk more of the hunting wives. As you can see,
We are.
I have my cowgirl hat on, and we are actually standing in front of the scene of the hunting wives. If you don't know this, this is a cabin that
Listen.
they filmed everything. Everything went down in this here cabin, okay? We wives,
Okay.
we hunted. We don't work, we wife.
Okay.
And
What a
my
word.
dear friend, Monty, she's over there at the church, standing
I
straight in the
am.
pulpit.
Yep. It's me and Jilly. Pastor Pete. We all over here, okay?
And
Having
and I hear
scandals.
that darn Bradley
Okay.
who
That
gets into
Bradley.
things. And we're here to
Woo.
talk about the hunting wives. Now, if you know me, I like to do accents sometimes. It won't last the whole time. But for Love Island UK, I did a British accent. And for the hunting wives, I need to do me a good old Texas Southern accent.
This
And I
is
should
so
be able to do
crazy.
it way better because my mom is actually
Right.
from Georgia, but I only know how to talk like a city girl because I've been raised in
I was
South
about to
Florida
say,
my
and
whole
y'all,
life.
okay, fair, but also you live in Florida. The girlies in Florida sometimes have a little accent,
A
or they are at least
twang.
accent adjacent. A twang. I will give you that.
Yes.
They definitely have a twang. I forget Florida's in the South sometimes until they I hear that twang and I go, oh. And they also sound a little bit
Yes.
more pleasant. There's a little bit more bless your heart in their voice than there is where I
Exactly.
am. A lot of bless your heart happening here on Hunting Wives. Okay. It was so if you had to rate it, out of let's
12.
say, okay, I'd like to say we should actually give it like a
Okay.
grade instead of a rating, like a nice out of 100.
Okay, out of 100, I would honestly say no, I can't give it 100. 99.
Yeah, I'll give it like a solid 90. I gave it like a 96, 97%. I thought
What is
this
the 4 points? Like, what could they have done better for you?
It's actually what they could have done without. In final editing, and this is no
Mhm.
shade to the writers of the novel or the script or the actors, in the final editing, there were moments where I could blatantly tell that they like dubbed in audio and dubbed in like
Oh,
script plot holes. And I hate when I can tell that.
you can tell.
It
Can
stresses
you
me
give
out.
me
Like,
some of like one of the ones that you noticed, or like what was the most obvious one? Because I
yeah,
didn't
so
notice that. I think that
there,
I was just like so enthralled that I did,
oh
and
yeah,
and
no.
everything was so crazy already that I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm hearing voices, or maybe this is how it's supposed to sound. I just didn't know what the fuck was going on, especially after episode 9. I was like, what's going
Right.
on? Like,
Like, okay, so guys, of course, obviously,
was it
spoilers,
9 or is it
spoilers,
8?
spoilers. We
No,
will be
was it?
having this is a spoilers conversation. So I hope you have, like, if you didn't already listen to our, we talked a little bit on Love
Yeah,
Island, our Love Island episode about how was like had our interest. We hope that got y'all interested because we are going to actually talk about the depths of the show and the ins
great.
and outs. And like again, how one of the things that I feel like how I noticed that the dubbing over is they a lot of Brittany Snow's lines as she moved the plot forward. If she was
Yeah.
in conversation with someone, she would randomly like it'd be like, and I know you weren't with Margo that night, like something like that. It would be so random and on purpose, and you can always tell it's dubbed in because you
You
can
see the
hear
back of
them
their
only from
head.
the back of their head, right? And so but now I realize I understood why I couldn't figure it out why they did so many blatant dubs until and you were you we talked about this a little bit like in text. We the red herring of this show was obviously Jill. Like we
Yeah.
all they want there was a couple of different people that you thought it could be. I was pretty sure early on it was going to be Jill, so I guess that was actually by design because in the novel it is Jill. Jill is the one that does
What?
shoot. Yeah, in the novel it is Jill that shoots Abby. So that makes sense because so they wanted us to know think it was her for a while. That was actually the red herring. So it was like, focus on this while distracting us from them setting up little things of Margo being the real killer. But it was Jill in the novel, girl.
This is brand new information because I did not Google anything. I didn't say episode 9. I mean episode 7. That was 9 for me. I'm just so used to it's an episode season. I'm sorry. Okay, so at first I automatically thought it was Margo, but I thought that would be too obvious.
Same.
So
I was like, so it
then,
has to be Jill. And then I was like, is that too obvious?
but no, we talked about it. Then I was like, it might be Callie because I don't know. She just loves Margo so much. Like she was just like
And
obsessed
she
with
can
her.
shoot. My thing was that she's a better
Exactly.
shot. You know, she's a much better shot than any
Exactly.
of them. But I guess the idea is that it could have been any of them theoretically because they're all amazing hunters, literally, except for fucking Sophie, which is why I was like, how is no one bringing up for a while Sophie was being. I thought it also had to be Margo because Sophie was obviously being framed, like very clearly,
Yeah.
because she's the worst shooter in the group.
She's
What
the
are you
worst
talking
shooter. She
about?
would gain nothing. We saw
Shot to
how
the
the
head. I'm
night
gonna shoot a random girl.
we saw how the night went also. Like it just didn't make sense for it to be Sophie. It was way too obvious. We knew that she was innocent. I knew it wasn't the black girl because she wasn't gonna do that, period. I knew
Mm-mm.
it wasn't like the beauty queen slash model because we didn't see enough of her either. So then that leaves it to Margo, Callie, Jill, or who else? Sophie. And like that's
Yeah, I knew it wasn't gonna
pretty
be
much
Sophie
it.
because by like episode 3, they gave us a second. It was one final shot to the
Mm-hmm.
head. So that also kind of took Callie out of it for me because Callie is like she can do a one and done. Like that bitch is a sharpshooter.
She's a
Like it's kind
shooter.
of crazy, okay? But Margo shot her once and then shot her again in the head. That's how we found out that it was Margo, which we didn't until the very end. So when I did a little bit of research on what the differences was from the novel to the show, because to me, I'm like, the show was 10 out of 10. This was exactly the right and left turn that I needed, the exact right amount of episodes. What was the differences? It was literally that like Jill was the shooter instead of Margo, and that was like
That's
something that
the
the
craziest thing you can change, though.
exactly. But the author even said that the author of the novel said she
Mhm.
wanted another plot twist and she couldn't come up with one at the time that she was
Mhm.
writing it. So she actually, when she saw what they were going to change for the show, she was riveted and thought that Margo would make an excellent killer because of like, so obviously, what
It'd
do
be
you
less
think?
obvious.
Right. What do you think then also had to change if it wasn't Margo in the novel? Because I was like, why would Jill shoot Abby other than like
Right.
obsession over her son? Like it wasn't enough. So what else would it have been? Like why? Because why in the show did Margo even shoot this girl? Right?
Right. Okay. So we're assuming that Margot shot her because she found out about the affair and that she was going to tell Jill about that affair.
I think she found it was more than just the affair. She
The
found out about the
pregnancy.
abortion. Because here's the thing, Pastor Pete, this is why I was like, oh, this is good red. It was a good red herring
Wait, I'm
because
still mind blown that you're telling me that there's people that read this book and then they
mm-hmm,
went and saw the show and they're like, oh,
yep.
but I already know how the show ends and like I'm not gonna ruin it
And
for
it
you
was
guys.
not.
And then they have to sit there and be like,
Yeah.
what? Nah, they
Okay. I
snap. They
also,
ate
and you
that
know,
shit.
the people who are listening are also going to be like, okay, who read the book are also going to be like, first of all, not even just that girl, but also in the book, there's one more death of the women and one less death of the cast.
Ooh,
Like, so in the book, Kyle doesn't die, but in
okay.
the book, Jill, I gotta read it. I gotta read it. You need to find out why.
Jill, what
Jill
happens?
shoots Margo. Margo dies. It's a
That would make
standalone
sense. That
novel,
would
so
make
they
sense.
couldn't do that in
They're
the
not having,
series
yeah.
because they want a second
You
season.
can't
Which,
have the
girl,
haunting wives without Margot.
exact bitch, she's a hunter. This is all about
That's
her.
like when they killed Daenerys Targaryen, baby. Like you're so
Yeah,
showing that
no,
this
and
shit
it was
don't
a
shake
wrap.
without
It
Margo.
was a wrap, even when Daenerys went crazy, I was like, but she got to stick around, otherwise it is a wrap,
Yeah. I'm
But
like, this
so
is
like,
not what I am expecting, but go off, Queen.
go off Queen. So I thought that was really cool because
That
the
is
author
so
literally even was like,
crazy.
let me tell you, I saw the list and she was like, I looked at it and was like, this is gonna be a hit show, bitch. I was riveted as the author. I wrote the story and said, this is a great ending. It gave us a literal cliffhanger, which I think is so cool.
Another thing you told me, it was
Yeah.
originally for stars.
It was originally for Stars, which I find also really interesting
That is
because
that's a
it
Netflix
ate.
show. That's a Netflix show.
I think it's a Netflix show too. I think it makes so much sense as a Netflix show, which is crazy because it was supposed to be on Stars. And Stars is, and so the things that reporters and critics have seen that made it like look like it could have been a prime time Stars show is the theme song, which is what got you. Why did you
That
like this theme
that
so
shit
much?
ain't so every time I felt like a woman. Okay, I'm hunting.
They did.
I
They
needed
put a lot of production value and
who
money in that damn
did
theme.
just even the background when they had because
Yeah,
it looked like they had the black girl on there. They had all the main wives on there, but then they had the guns on there. They had the nature on there. They had a topless man on there. Then they had the girl singing, and I'm just like, yes, that was so good. Like I'm just like, I need to download that shit. I'm sorry.
no, but for
It was
real, it was
so
so good.
good. Okay, so with Stars, I can see it being on Stars, especially because one thing about Stars, they are going to give you a theme song. Like they're
Oh,
going
for
to give
real,
you a
and they're gonna
theme
give you a long one.
song, a long one. Okay.
Okay,
And then
this
also they
this is a
have
big rich
this
town. It's still in my head. Okay, sometimes down in the valley where the
what
girls get
get
naked. Okay, every
wait,
time
that was
it'll
literally like
it'll be
White P
me every
Valley.
time.
Like
Okay,
that
yo,
really was White P Valley. Like I'm sorry.
can we talk about how this show, first of all, I don't know how it even caught my attention. We accidentally found out that we were
That we
both
were
watching
watching
this
it. I
because
literally
before
told
recording
you
about something else that was like true trash television, we found out that we are watching this honky tonk cowboy NRA
Republican
Republican
white women.
sexual horny white women with guns, horny with guns, not anything I would normally be into. But I said suddenly, I need to watch this show.
Let's run it back. I
Something
saw
in
it
me.
being, I didn't see it being advertised anywhere else outside of
Me
Netflix. It
neither.
was
I saw it
only
on like the
on,
little remind me thing for when it was going to come
right.
out. And I saw girls kissing girls. See, the Texas was like, okay, whatever. The Republican was like, oh, okay. Until they started kissing each other. I said, no, wait a minute. You know me, I'm like a classic lesbian. So I'm gonna be like, okay, if there are girls kissing each other on television, I'm gonna watch whatever that show is, simply for representation.
Exactly. But
I believe in it all.
I didn't even see the preview to that. I saw it being advertised and I'm like, this is too many white women. And I'm like, I fuck with you, Brittany Snow, but this ain't Hairspray. So it's not gonna be no songs or nothing. So I'm
I
not interested in
understand.
it. So then
I've
I
wanted
kept
Brittany Snow to
scrolling.
be a gay again since John Tucker Must Die, where she kissed Sophia
Exactly.
Bush. Shout out to the elves and the guys and the girlies, and who that was like the moment for all of us. We were like, yeah, more of that. And now, thank you, God, Sophia Bush is a gay. She's part of
Yep.
us. So Brittany Snow. I was like, so who? What we doing?
I'm
Like,
like,
let's
I'm
do
not really
it.
that invested because I'm like, there's just too many white women. And then when it was like, oh, this is gonna be, obviously these are Republican women. So then what happened was I went on threads and then people were talking about it on threads. And I'm like, and the thing is on threads, sometimes I stumble across the wrong part of threads, but it's usually because one of my followers are cursing out somebody that says something ignorant. But then I got on the right side of threads and it was like they were black people talking about it. And they're like, this shit is crazy.
It
Then I
slaps.
saw Then I saw clips of a bunch of girls kissing. So I was just like, okay, well, this is not what I thought it was going to be at all. I really thought that this was going to be a reflection of what is happening today. And in many ways, it absolutely is. Clock that. But it's actually like a drama filled who shot
Yes.
JR, like crazy small town girl like thing. And like each episode, I'm like, okay, I need to get better about like who done it. It's gonna be obvious, but in no way that I thought it would be Margo, obviously, because like that was my first one. I'm like, obviously it's Margo, but the way that they set this shit up and the way they set my girl Jill up, it was just like, no, it was Jill. It was Jill. It was Jill.
Yeah, it
But
made a lot of sense also for it to be Jill. And I also even thought it was super cool because we talked about how we didn't even know who the fuck died in the beginning, in the first couple
right.
episodes. In fact, for
I
me,
thought
like
it
how
was
I
Brittany
came,
Snow.
I thought it was gonna be Sophie too. I was like, okay, and in fact, it would make sense. I
Yes.
like that we didn't know who the murderer was going to be, and we didn't know who the murderer was going to be. And because we didn't know who the victim was yet, we couldn't know who the murderer was yet because I didn't know whose motive it would be to kill, her. It could have been anything. So, like, I really want to. I was not gonna watch this show really like that either because of the murder mystery part. I lived
I
in
don't really
Texas
care
for
about murder
some
mysteries.
exactly. I lived in
It's too
Texas for some
much.
time. I was into that. I love rich white women. I mean, hello, we cover a lot of Bravo, so I'm into
Yeah.
that. Rich white women that have vain personalities and care about being hot and pretty and drinking. Yeah, bitch, I'm into that. They
I'm
doing a
into
murder,
it.
and I was a little bit like,
I already have enough of
until
that though.
girl, I listen to true crime every day, all the time. I don't need to see it on my TV all the
And it's
time
like
either.
we
I go
already
contact
have
Olivia
White
Benson.
Lotus. We already have
Right.
that
I can
one
call
with
Olivia Benson whenever I need to watch when I want to watch a white woman solve a murder.
when
I just
and
call
then
Olivia.
the rich white women part with the sweaters and all that. I'm like, oh well, then I could just go back and watch that one with Zoe Kravitz on it, or I could literally
Yeah,
watch
right.
anything that Nicole Kidman is in. I was like, I also
Pretty Little Liars.
I didn't see
Yeah,
Sirens
right.
yet, so I need to watch Sirens first, and then
Oh,
maybe after I
that
watch
was good.
Sirens, I'll watch.
That
It
was
was good.
good.
It ate.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, fantastic. And to be honest, it was the reason why I watched Hunting Wives because I was like, okay, the last time I invested in like a campy, really glittery, gorgeous, everyone's hot and rich, like was it a murder mystery type thing on Siren? The last time I invested in it, I fucking loved it. I gave Sirens like a 90 because I felt like they rushed the ending and I was worried Hunting Wives was gonna do that.
Need to watch
Bitch, they
Sirens.
didn't. But no, Sirens ate down. That's the reason
That's
why I
why
gave this
I
one a
was like,
try. And
And then
I
my
saw
roommate told me also, in addition to threads, my roommate, he told me, he's like, I put it on for background noise, but
right,
then it
right.
got good. Then Raven told me, she was like, bitch, I am watching The Hunting
For
Wives.
me,
And
it
I'm
was the
like,
queers.
this is not
I you know how you follow like the LGBTQ community
absolutely.
magazines and accounts. Three different ones, queer ones, said, "Hey, girl, that shooting Republican TV show down in the South in Texas, it's really good. It's good lesbian shit. It's smut. It's television. It's all of it." I said, "What?" Now, how is it if an account called Them is telling me to go watch fucking Hunting
Right.
Wives and Auto Straddle? I'm
I'm
gonna go
going to have
watch
to
it.
listen.
I gave it 5 minutes. I was sold in less
I
than
wasn't
that.
it
I was
that
shocked.
first motherfucking scene when she meets Margo and Margo is like, do you have a
A
pad or whatever?
tampon or a pad,
No, do you
yes.
remember? Because the tampon was how
Oh,
she figured out
okay. Isn't it so nice how they were putting those like they were
subtle little
starting? We
things.
find they full circle it so well where you get all the answers to questions you have of like what is the significance of the relationship between Sophie and Margo? They're going to meet in this beyond intimate setting. We even talked about on our last episode about how when Margo like drops her dress, it felt
Got
like for
butt
me
ass
that she
naked.
was like low key grooming. It
You
felt like
said
she
that.
was grooming in a way of like trying to make it okay because Sophie couldn't even be shocked because
You
she was
said
like,
that.
huh? She didn't even
You
like,
said that.
and Margo was like, girl, what? Like, we're best friends. What are you talking about?
That's when I
These are
got
my titties.
invested when she got
Hello, these are my titties.
exact Exactly. Like that's when I got invested when she got naked and then she was like,
And
"Oh,
put
I
like
don't
toilet
use,"
paper in her
and did put
her.
it to ghetto
She's
as fuck.
being so
And
intimate.
then
What the
Sophie
fuck?
was like, "Oh, I need a Xanax," and then she just gave her a Xanax, and they snorted Xanax in the bathroom together. I was like, "Oh, I'm in. I don't
She
care where this goes.
said,
I don't
"Oh
care what
yeah."
it does. I
Also,
am now
Margo,
going to have
girl,
to finish it."
popping
Simple,
pills from the whatever white woman just walks in with a purse, like a little
simple.
product clutch, is crazy to me. But go off, queen. I respected Margot then. She said, "This is my house. I don't really give a shit. I'm gonna do what I do."
But she didn't. We
Oh,
didn't even know that at that time. She comes out
yeah.
on the stage with her husband after she just showed this woman her titties. And Sophie's like, I know that
Titties and
ain't
ass.
titty girl,
Mm-hmm.
titties
Mm-hmm.
McGee. Like literally on the
Yes.
stage. And then Jed is the dude from, I think he was the dude from Shameless and a whole bunch of other shows. So then I was like, oh, okay, I know this guy. He's usually in, he's
He did a great
usually,
job
yeah,
playing a
he's usually
Jed.
in a
That's
lot
very,
of
very
stuff.
true.
Yeah. And
I
yep.
really liked, like, it was weird because like the first things that I noticed, and I loved how this was written, but like the first things that I noticed is that, so you got your Sophie and Grant, her husband, like the straight laced white man. It's so interesting because they're coming from like Boston and they're supposedly like a little bit more, obviously more liberal than coming in conservative Texas, when they're the most straight laced people there. Like she's the one who had a high career and then like ended it to go take care of her baby and become a stay-at-home mom. Grant's talking for her and like every second. Maybe it's the like non-straight in me that I was like, "Ooh, a man talking for a woman. Ew, ew." Like I noticed it every single time he spoke that like someone was trying to talk to Sophie or about Sophie, and he's like, "Yeah, now she's the most incredible." Can she speak for herself? Actually, can she talk about her? Is that okay?
And I didn't like
This is so
when she
weird.
was like, "Oh," they were like, "Oh, champagne." And he was like, "No," but then now I know why, because girl, you out here killing people. But still, let
Bitch. And
her.
she was like, "Yeah." He was like, "I kind of straightened her out." Oh, ooh, ew.
Ugh, he
I
gave me the
don't know.
ick. No wonder she's fucking women. Like,
But
hello,
exactly. But what I loved was that first exact same night was that once we know who the power couple is, and
right?
that it is Jed and Margot, they both were like, they got horny over the fact that Sophie is, they both were like, "Oh, that one right
I
there
want
can
that
come
one.
in here with us."
I
And
thought that she was gonna
I
be so prude, and she was the exact opposite.
repressed. Like shout out to
She
Bronwyn, but she basically Bronwyn, like Bron Windenberg, we love you. But shout out to her.
she
That's what
left
it
her
was.
husband three
She
times for that pussy, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't
how
blame
many
you.
times she tell Grant, "I don't know what I want," but showed up at Margot's door like, "Can you drop them drugs?"
The way they were in that, you know
He showed
what
up at
got
that
me
door like the
also?
Tesla knew where to go. She said, "I know where I'm going. I don't know what I want with him, but I know what I want from her, and that's where I am."
What also got me was like mid-season when she lost everything and she's staying in a fucking hotel
Let
and
that
Margot
girl
comes
frame her for murder
and
and
then
lose her whole life.
she comes to the hotel and she's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do this, that, and the other." And then Sophie, she popped that. She's like, "Bitch, I don't give a fuck." She like bopped her ass and was like, "Yeah, I'm in charge now." Because guess what? She has nothing
Yeah,
else to lose. She lost her child. She lost her husband. She lost her place to
everything.
stay. You are not
Girl,
doing shit. So I know for a fact you're framing me for this shit. You just told everyone that I'm crazy. You just
thank
ignored me.
you.
So now I'm gonna act crazy. And I was like, Sophie, nah, you ate that. You ate that.
Right.
You
Like, I
ate that.
just
You ate
think,
that. You ate that.
like, it just made me. So, the only, like, major, it was so interesting because it was so clear that Sophie was the setup. Like, she was the
Yeah.
scapegoat from the beginning. Whomever shot this woman, like, shot Abby, they all had to be in on it or whatever together. So I'm like, what conspiracy are these original hunting wives? Like,
Right.
what was it? Did
Why did
Margot
they do
call
this to her?
Callie and Jill? Like, why did they do this? Right? And like, why are they framing Sophie? The fact that she blacked out only for about 14 minutes of one episode that I think Sophie could have actually did it because she blacked out. Everything else was so circumstantial. Like she's not a good shot. She don't even know this girl. She has no reason to hate her or want her to die, especially if she
Right.
already has a prior. And Callie was on that ass since the very beginning. Like shout out to them because I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna go shooting. And then after we've seen how we all can use our guns, we're gonna drink champagne and play Never Have I Ever and say,
Remember when
Never
I
have I
was
ever
like, never
killed
ever killed
somebody.
someone? That was when we
LOL
got on.
shit.
That was when we got on here and we were like, hey
Oh,
guys, you have to listen, you have to watch this show because
yeah.
this shit is crazy
Kelly
to
didn't had it out for
me.
her ever since. I love that she took the Donald Trump approach and was just like, instead of getting rid of Sophie, like, oh, the girl I like, the girl I'm obsessed with, like somebody else, and I don't like that, I just get rid of her. Just
Yeah.
disappear her, send her to jail. Just send
Yeah.
her
Fuck
to
her.
jail.
And
I'm
that
married to the
kid
sheriff.
and her
I
husband.
spank him every night. Like, this show is amazing. I
That
love
was
that in order for
so
her to
good
turn her sheriff husband out and make him a masculine, go get an ass man, like walk up in there and tell them
with his
what's what,
chest out.
Buster, with your chest out. She had to beg him. I said, you know what,
Hey,
Kelly? Go off. I just
listen,
love how
them
they subtly were
testosterone
like,
shots and that strap
okay,
on, listen, that's all he needed. And you know
that's
what?
all
It might have
he
not been him,
needed.
but he made it about him. And that's what matters. Like they found it, they
Listen,
figured it out.
now, something I want to ask you, because I have my theory now, more into the middle of the season, or first couple episodes, you find out that those boys, those twin boys, are not actually Margot's. They're the former Mrs. Banks. As we start piecing those things together, which means there was a former Mrs. Banks. And new shocker, Jed married Margo after a threesome. He took the Robin Thicke approach. And after a
And it happens
threesome,
more than you think. So,
it
ladies, that's
does.
what I want to tell you guys. Do not
Girl,
do
I
a
have a story for
threesome
you.
for, listen, I'm not gonna tell you who, but I know someone who she did a threesome for her boyfriend and now they are dating. The girl and her boyfriend are dating and she's single. And I'm like, if you don't
I got
really
a story
actually
for
want
y'all.
to do a threesome, don't do it. If I'm gonna do a threesome, it's gonna be for me. Like this is my bitch. You go find your own bitch.
Right.
But
And
if
see
you're
how
just doing it
Margot
for
got
that
that
man,
ass. If
no.
Margot told that lady she is so good. She's such a good
She's
manipulator though. Like
yes.
she's
She
top
will do
tier.
it and make you think it's your
She got it.
idea.
Yes. She got that girl. And she was like, in order for me to bag this man, I need to make sure that his wife performs and gives him full access and has no inhibitions. If she has no inhibitions, then her guard, her everything will be down. And then that's exactly what was able to happen. But
Yep.
in order for her to do that, she had to tell that lady, which untrue. She was like, "You're so beautiful." And she was like, "Did he pay you to say that?" She goes, "I don't do what men tell me to do. I don't do what anyone tells me to do."
Got in her ear.
Well, fucking done. Like that was
Bad
it. That was
bitch.
it. That was it. Because she was like, "Oh my God, she likes me for me." Yes, she
Yeah.
does. Not really. But
Sure.
yes, girl, I think that's fantastic. I loved every person who came into it, and had why do you think he chose to be with Margo and leave her as like the Mrs. Banks and not his former wife when it seems like they do the same, they did the same thing. Like obviously he at least was able to have a threesome with that lady. So what is it? Is it that Margo
Because
lets him do
Margot
even
actually
more?
like women. Like I said,
Yeah, they
Margot
both are allowed to
actually
fuck other women.
likes women. Whereas
Yeah.
the former Mrs. Banks, she didn't really like women like that.
In
Like
fact, she
she's
was
not
probably a traditional Texas woman who was like,
exactly.
"I'm doing this for my husband, but I don't know about this." And Margo was like,
Exactly.
"Can you keep me from being a screaming homosexual that gets like tarred and feathered in my trailer park community of Southern Texas?" Yes.
And
And
when
he's
she
like, "Yeah, I'll protect you and have a heterosexual, rich, conservative life with you. And you, as long as I can fuck bitches, you can fuck bitches." And she said, bet.
and she told Sophie, and that is why I was so sick of her ass, but she was also kind of iconic when Sophie was like, "Oh, but I thought that you weren't allowed to fuck men," and she's like, "Brad's not a
Yeah.
man, that's a
He's a
boy." I'm like,
boy.
"Excuse
That's
And then not only
not
that, she got
better.
pregnant by that boy and had an abortion. And the doctor was your daddy, and your brother is right there in town, and nobody knows about this shit. What is going on? And then at the end, oh my
Yes.
god, there's so many reviews at the end, and then I'm like, okay, so are we now going
With
to
more
team up
questions.
with, like, what do you think is going to happen the next season? Like, is Sophie going to team up with the ex-wife because she knows that the ex-wife knows where, like, more of the bodies are buried, or is because she killed Kyle, like, are they pretty much even? Is Margo still gonna want to fuck with her because she knew that Kyle
Yes.
wasn't shit? Was she like, did she really
Oh,
mean that on the
yeah.
phone? Like, what is going on? What's gonna happen? What do you
Okay,
think?
so that was me too, because we were wondering, like, I don't think it's that serious. And honestly, maybe we should, like, I want to see if we could. I mean, I don't want you to lose your job, girl. LOL. Never mind. But shout out to the writing team over there. Like, apparently your mom, Miss Kayla,
Shout out to Kayla.
your whole writing team are fucking legends. Kayla Westergaard Dobson, girl, honey, sweetie, pie. Bless your heart. That's a fact.
I tip
Okay,
my
Kai is
hat.
like literally tipping her hat.
Literally tip
Y'all's
my cowboy
whole
Carter
writing
hat.
room, the girlies in there, like all inclusive girlies,
Yeah.
fantastic. Because I'm seriously like, so many questions were answered at the end, and then new questions were asked that I didn't know I was going to have. But I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
now what is it? Because did Margo actually tell her brother not to go fuck with Sophie? And did he just go do it himself anyway? But then, like, now Sophie will
And then
never
the
know.
phone call in general, once she heard that her brother wasn't speaking back, did she make up, because she's so slick, did she make up that on the spot? I
Thank
told you not to
you.
go and fuck with her, right? Leave her alone, because she knows that, like, hey, something's wrong and it might be this bitch. Like,
I ain't
or
gonna
it
hold
might
you.
be
She probably,
anyone.
don't you think she know how Sophie breathes?
Yeah,
She done
sure
had a
do.
lot of
Because,
moments
oh
with
my god,
her.
it was Jessie Woo who, like, she was on Threads, and she's her one comment, like, she was threading it, and she was like, why do these people on the Hunting Wives breathe so heavily? I'm just like, they be fucking
So
down.
heavily. So
Because they be
heavily.
fucking down. I get it.
They
Like,
really do. They
hey,
be fucking down. It's so crazy. Margo
room
wants it
stinking.
all. Margo is like, I'm gonna have whatever I want. If I want to fuck with him, I'm gonna do it. If I want to fuck with her, I'm gonna do it. If I want to fuck with him while she watches, I'm going to do it.
This
And what's
shit is
crazy
crazy.
is that, like,
Are
Sophie was
you
like, I will give up my whole family and this man to be your side piece, girl. Like, and meanwhile,
at
Callie is
her
like, why can't
door?
we be side pieces again? I want to be side pieces. What are you doing? I'm
The
gonna
way that
blackmail
she,
you into
like,
being my love.
the way that she, like, literally
Excellent.
turned the trigger on that at the end,
Excellent.
she was like, yeah, I'm done with this bitch. But then she got put out and she has nothing. She was the Sophie, basically, had nowhere to go.
She got
Brother
Sophie.
dead. Like, and she's like, you know what? I gotta go back. I
She
gotta
got to
go
go
back
back
up my
home.
mountain, up that mountain,
Uh
and
huh.
get my husband. Like, she was
Okay.
with open arms welcoming her back, and I'm just like, this shit is so gaggy. I'm sorry, that was so good to the very end. Like, and when I say end, I meant there was like 30 minutes left of the ending episode, and there was still stuff being uncovered. What I do want to know, though,
Uncovered.
I think that, okay, the only thing that I
Yes,
feel
I know
like,
exactly what you're going to say. I just know it. I feel like we're in
no,
sync.
tell
All right,
me,
go
tell me,
ahead. Sorry. No,
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 tell
no,
me,
no.
no, I want to know,
No, I want to
I
see
want
if
to
I'm
know,
right.
I want to know, because I want to know why you gave it a 96. Tell me,
Is
tell
it
me.
because of the private investigator with the eye? That plot hole stressed me out so much. It stressed me out so much. You also can't go from a white man with no two eyes, with one eye, to this big black man who's now all of a sudden really aggressive about it and like
Like,
holding my
what are we
arm. I didn't know
talking
that was that
about?
kind of thing.
And
I didn't know
he's like,
what vibe
24
that
hours.
was.
Tomorrow means 24 hours from now. And I'm like,
Not when
what
you
are
put
we
Grant to
talking about?
bed. Not also, Sophie, did you confirm? that neighbor was watching your kid? I just want to make sure
She didn't give a fuck.
because
She
that
just
man
wanted to
has
see what
pulled
Margo
up.
was doing. Like,
She is going to lose her son, okay? In this divorce. I just want everyone to know that. I just
it's
want everyone to know that. Like the
crazy.
fact that it also didn't clock to Sophie when she hit that man, that her son was still at home. I need you to tap back in. I do. The Sophie being able to
She
black
was
out, she's a
crashing
person
out.
who should not drink. Like she actually should not
That's why I
drink.
understood. And she just walking around. She's like, you know what? Fine, I won't drink. I'll just take Xanaxes. And I'm like, baby, Xans are gonna
I don't
make
think you should
you
do that either. I don't think you should do
black out.
anything.
I think that you need to go to rehab and come
I
back
do think you might need to do
and
that. In
just
fact,
stay in
Grant was good
therapy.
for you. He had you, maybe you're not straight, but he did have you straight laced. And maybe that was
Exactly.
helpful. Now let's get to the subplot here really quickly. Pastor P, I have no
I
wow, because I also wanted it to be him. I really did. I was good for him being the murder. And then after he abducted old girl, Abby's best friend, I knew it wasn't him. Because
right.
the friend was like, I found a sweater in the car, and I was like, damn, he didn't do it because
Yeah.
she left it. He was trying to abduct her though. I'm loving that we got an abductor off the streets by any means necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. He should have
Trigger warning.
blown himself up. I'm sorry, but
Yeah. Well, it's okay.
he
I trigger
absolutely
warning.
need
It's
to.
fine.
This whole episode is a trigger warning, actually, because
Girl,
there's
yes. I mean,
nothing about
first
this
of
show,
all, don't watch Hunting Wives if you are sensitive to the death of your
anything
individual.
to
Which
death
is
in
also the
general,
ironic because, like, LOL, that it's like the conservative pro life people and there was like dead people everywhere.
and
Death, death,
abortions.
death,
But I love
abortion.
Margo
But
is like
that
the
was the thing that they
classic
couldn't say and couldn't handle. That was crazy. Like, Homegirl shot Star
Chrissy
in her house.
Metz. Yeah,
Star
Star.
showed up at her house with a shotgun. And then
It was so
Jill was
funny.
like, yeah, I had to shoot her. She came at me with a shotgun. I'm like, that is the Texas
That's
logic. I do hear
valid.
you. I've heard that. I've heard that
You've
logic.
heard
She
that?
she came to her house with a shotgun, accusing her of shit. That's a bit much. And so Jill shooting her, that's a bit much. But then Margo and Callie finding out and being like, "Oh my God, girl, we gotta call the cops. Like this girl's whole married to the sheriff." And then Jill pulling a gun on both of them. That's a bit much. I was like, "What the fuck?" She said, "I need to think." I said, "Oh, let her
So
think.
bad.
Just let her think." But also, Jilly, why are you putting your finger on the trigger? I don't understand it.
Jill, you didn't want your son to cuss, but you are
But you
ready with the blicky?
girl, it was in the drawer. It was right next to the thing, next to the garbage disposal. She said, Margo said, we've got to call the sheriff. Also, Margo, LOL, acting goes to you, sister, because you
Right.
shooting that girl, being a whole sharpshooter as well, and shooting this boy's daughter
She's
or
like,
girlfriend, and she's like, "There's a person dead." Oh my god, excellent! But just said, pull the drawer open next to the AAA batteries, bitch. Shut the fuck up. I need to think.
think.
Okay.
And I'm like, you're right. You got it, girl. You think. I'll
Me,
help
I'm
you.
like, just let her think. Just let her think.
No,
Callie said,
I
"Oh no,
agree.
let me tell you, I may never find another lesbian in the state of Texas to kiss me and lick my, you know, while I'm still married to the sheriff for as long as I live. You will not take this from me. Pop out. Two shots.
Exactly.
Two to the
And she's
chest.
like, I've been sick of your ass anyway, because
Bitch,
you're
she was weird about
homophobic
the
as fuck.
NDA.
Like
You're homophobic
you're
as fuck.
homophobic as fuck. I can smell
It's
it on
given
you.
y'all have a lot to hide, which you do because the pastor is employing a pedophile named Pastor Pete, which is also crazy because he's a pedophile.
And what the hell
Um,
is going on in that church? Okay,
what is
because the
going on in
pastor
that
was not
church?
doing what the pastor needed to do. And Star, I just don't
Mm-hmm.
know
I get it though, Star. I get why you went over there because Sophie was making
about
sense.
my baby. Yeah, I'm
I
accusing
actually need
everyone.
Sophie. In fact, she was like, I feel like Sophie. She was like, I feel like Abby had an abortion, and so Star was like, in this here great state of Texas, no, she didn't. Not my child. I know that. And then she
No,
went
that's what I
into,
did not get. But I understood why she went over there and she was literally at the shotgun with at Jill's house. But I just didn't
but
understand why
she didn't
that
get
set
it.
her off. Like,
No, it was because then she saw the lingerie and was like,
yeah.
they were fucking. They were fucking. She asked Jamie, the black boy, bless his heart. And she was
Glad he
like,
made it
they
out alive.
were
Are you?
okay. I was worried. Because he's like, they were fucking. They were, okay. And once
Are
she
you
saw that
surprised
and
Sophie didn't
saw
fuck
the
Jamie?
lingerie, I am. But then that's how I mean she obviously couldn't have shot that girl. First of all, again, even if she blacked out, Sophie can't shoot sober. She can't shoot on Xanax and whiskey and tequila or whatever. I know that. So the fact that, excuse me, sorry, my dog is apparently very rude.
I can't
Jackson,
hear.
do you want to get kicked out like
No,
Margo
Jackson wants to talk. No.
and Sophie? I'll put you out of here right now. No defense attorney. Okay. You can be
Excuse me.
replaced.
I didn't even hear Jackson. Jackson has something to say. Jackson
Okay,
wants
he
to
does.
say
He's
that
not even he wasn't even talking until right now.
because he knows that we're talking about the hunting wives, and he's like,
Yeah,
"Listen,
he did watch with me.
I can be a hunting dog if you need me to."
No, but for real, like he's like, yeah. I mean, he's a golden doodle, so he'll hunt like a stick at best and a pet. But
Well,
because he's a
I'm just
bougie
there.
dog, but he will be out there in them
Yeah,
streets,
I'm be running
in
back and
them
forth,
woods.
running
Yeah,
back and
he'll
forth.
do it.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
like
so like, okay, I think that I was surprised that she didn't fuck Jamie, but at the same time, I think that Sophie was exploring her sexuality so much that she's like, I could cheat on my husband anytime. I actually just want Margo because no one makes you feel like Margo does. Like even when Margo was with Bradley, she was
no.
just like looking at Margo and Bradley and just worried about that. And like she just jumped it when they were playing in the pool, like she got pushed in the pool or whatever, but she wasn't pressed on it because she saw Margo over there butt naked with Bradley and was like, maybe this
Okay,
life girl who is going to be okay.
like she's just in love with Margo. Margo has one of those personalities, those charismatic type things that she can make anybody lie for her. She made her dad lie for her. Sophie even putting that together was so smart, where she was like, you can't discuss patience. You're right, but yet you discussed your patience with me, which
Right.
means you were lying for them. You're their alibi. That's why you talked to me about them. They weren't even here. That is her daddy who was treating Kyle for his alleged situation, had a family emergency, alleged overdose or whatever. So, but like the fact that she got all of that, and then also when Margo came to her in the motel room before she even really knew how bad Margo was, she was like, "You framing me for murder. I know that." And Margo was like, "I'm sorry, and I love you." Forehead touch, and she was like, "Okay, yeah, it's fine. I mean, just don't like that
We'll
you do
just figure
that."
it out later.
Like, we'll figure it out, but like maybe like can you not frame me for murder? Can you help me get out of this? And she's like, yeah. I'll just frame Jill. It's fine.
Now I know
I'll put the
this
phone in the
is
house. It's no big deal. Like,
this is not meant to be
but then why
slander.
was Jill cleaning her car? Listen, writers, I do want to know why. I mean, I get why you changed it to Margo because that is scandalous, and I get it.
No, because it's
Um,
better. It's better. I would have
it
not.
is better.
I would
It
have
is
bet
better
all my whole. You know how people gamble and you're
because
like,
she
I
was
don't
cleaning her
understand
car.
how. Yeah, Jill was literally cleaning her car, and I'm like, why was she cleaning her car? Why was she
I
acting
guess
this
this
way?
is to show us now that she's just neurotic.
And then Bradley also was not taking the death of his mother, as hard as he should. So you know what? At
Because he was
one
taking
point,
Abby's death harder. He was. He was
yeah,
like,
he
I
didn't
had
even
a
like her.
boyfriend. He took it for granted.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
She at
you
least
feel
let
bad
him,
about that.
she let him masturbate while she prayed. She
They
let
did
him
it
like,
once
probably
before. Might
soak
as well
it.
do it again.
You think they actually did it or did it like soak like the Mormons or something? Because that's what
Okay,
it's
I
seeming
don't think that
like.
they soaked. I think they did it because of that boat. And I know
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, the lingerie says she was giving it.
exactly. She
Okay,
was. She was.
Abby was giving it. She was giving it. Okay, and I needed Brad to be a little bit more discreet because telling the pastor that your girlfriend, you should have just said you got a girl pregnant. You should have just said a girl. If you had to get it off your heart, get it off your chest. Repent. Okay, and that's what got Abby pissed off. Okay, because she said she probably would have gotten abducted that night if it wasn't for that information. Because she
Exactly.
said, "No, I know
You fucking
I
lie.
ain't had no fucking abortion because I was just on my knees praying in some old lady's house while you was jerking off because I had to resist temptation and not
Yep.
give it place. And you're
Yep.
trying to tell me you got a bitch pregnant while I'm out here praying? That's crazy. How about that? Oh, okay." And that's crazy. And I feel like she told Jill, and that must have been what set Jill off. Like that's what for me that would have made sense for Jill to be mad because she's like, "How dare you tell me that he's been having an affair or sleeping with? You're gonna ruin his career." That's enough to me.
And you know what? With Jamie, when he was like, "I'm not gonna lie for you," I'm like, "Shut your black football playing ass up." And then
Yes, you
when
are.
she
First
was
of all,
bribing
yes, you are.
Jamie, I'm just like, yeah, right. I'm
Yes, you
just
are,
like,
honey.
can you please, like, lie, get out of there? He's like, oh, well,
Girl,
he's
just
gonna
say
go off,
what's the price?
like,
What are we
please.
talking?
And she's like,
Coconut
oh,
oil be tongs
we have a church scholarship specially, for
for
you. He's like, oh, that
50K.
doesn't even exist. I never heard about it before. Shut your ass up. You will
You
die.
do?
You
Where's the
will die.
application? I'd love to sign it. That's my answer.
Exactly.
Of course you do.
And when they were
Suddenly, Brad was
fighting,
at
I'm just like,
home
you guys are so stupid. Why the fuck are y'all brawling in the middle of like the basketball court? And
because our
so
foursome went off. Your girlfriend had to die after our foursome. You had to fuck her and have Abby too. Jamie, just say you loved Abby and it's okay, baby. You don't even have to be like that pressed about it. He just knew that Brad didn't deserve it, which makes sense. And in the book, I guess it makes sense if Brad is having an affair with Margo and Abby had. So in the book, Abby
do we
had the
see more of that?
abortion.
Oh, it would
Abby
make
did have the
sense.
abortion, and Sophie did find out that information. And I guess both of them bitches would have threatened her son's career. And Julie said, "It's a wrap on both of you. It's a no, thank you, no, wham, thank you, ma'am. You're out of here." She shot them both, okay, which I get because the way that they're not, I guess, to the people who read the book is like Margo being like, well, Jill's always been like weirdly obsessed with her son. Like, yeah, girl. I mean, in the novel, you will shoot people who come between your son's like future, and he's just a football player going to college. You gotta calm down. Two bodies,
Insane.
sis, over this boy going to state university to play a little football. He's
When
just
y'all are
going to
already
Baylor.
rich,
Right. He's just going.
but you know what it is?
First of all, you know how many football playing boys there are in Texas?
You know what it is? It was that
Throw a rock, hit a football player.
exactly, but because they're already rich, so I think that she just knows that her son is just such a like, I don't know. There are some I don't want to say boy moms because I don't want to offend the boy moms that we have listening here.
Yes.
But there's a
I
certain
think,
type
yeah.
of boy
Yeah.
mom who
There's a Jill.
actually, yeah, there's a Jill out there who know that their son is so horrible that they need to send them away and hope that they mature because they do so many terrible and horrible things. Because realistically, okay, he's gonna go and play football somewhere at a university. Yeah, sure, but she's worried about what he would do when he stays home because he had an anger problem. We saw that with
Yeah.
his girlfriend. Had an anger problem. He's fucking around like,
Yeah, she wants to get him on the right
she
path and
wants to
send
get
him
him
out
also out of
because
that
she's
town
obsessed with
because
him.
also
Yes.
her image too as the pastor's wife and the pastor's son is running around town doing God, well, we know what.
Being terrible. And she's like, if you don't just focus on football and get yourself out, off to college
And
and
know
do
that
the right thing.
there's a bigger town than where you're staying. That's what a lot of
Yeah, well, it
people
doesn't come
don't
until after
understand.
college though, because Baylor
Mm-hmm.
is the smallest town in the world. Shout out to Baylor. Great for football. There is nothing but an IHOP. Texans, clock in, tap in,
Let
talk
me
to
know.
us. I'm
Let me
telling
know
you,
because
I
I'm
drove
only
through
going to
because I was
Houston or
going to the outlets.
Dallas.
I'm always going to the outlets, right? And then when I lived in Dallas, we would go to the outlets in what's called San Marcos, which is like right outside of San Antonio. And them outlets are bananas, okay? Shoppers paradise.
Oh
So
yeah.
we would go, but we had to drive through Baylor for whatever reason. And I'm telling you, quickest trip, nothing there. The school and an IHOP, we were out. I said, now what? I keep hearing people come here, and I'm living there. People talk about like in Texas, what school, sports school you go to is like the biggest deal in the world. So like all of this tracked for me. This was all
They
like so
breed
on
football
brand for me.
players.
Honey, let me tell you, I was a pom.
Shout out to the
When I was
Palms.
living in Texas, I was a pom. Shout out to
Period.
the dancers, girls.
Period.
School was on Fridays. Like Friday Night Lights is a very real thing. Also one of my favorite shows. And it school ended for me at like 1:30 p.m. dead ass on football game days because there would be a giant pep rally. You would have like stuff in the morning, pep rally, and this would be like throughout the
Take that
state in
shit
different schools.
serious.
And then you literally go fucking home. You get the stuff together. You put on the big, I forget what they're called, but
Paint
like
your face and all that.
they're like, yeah, you put on like these giant like things that the girl, like the cheerleaders and stuff, like make for you. Oh my god, the
Mm-hmm.
Southern girls are fucking eating me up right now. And they put them on and they go home and they cut the things and put the ribbons in, and then you are there at 7:30 when the lights go on. And let me tell you, them high schools have stadiums the size of actual like college stadiums. They're not small. They are
That's crazy.
insanely huge. Like, because Texas state football, Texas high schools are already like bigger than like most people's high schools, but like they are full on. This boy, like this kind of mom exists. Like this,
Yep.
she
That's a
exists.
lot. She
Like
represents so many.
she represents so many who thinks their son is like God on the field, on the court, whatever. He's the next second coming. So they're always thinking about what school they're going to go to. Like it's the Oklahomas. Are you going to go to Are you going to go to the state? Are you going to go to UT? Are you going to go to Texas Tech and play football or Baylor? Where like wherever the SEC, whatever part of the SEC. And so this boy going there, I think you're so right. She was like he needs to be in order for him to be better and mature and actually not be subjected to being a terrible person because everyone lets him slide with everything in this little town. He needs to go over there. Like he needs to go
Yep.
off over there and focus. He needs to focus.
And
But also
notice
call
that
your
she
son out and raise him, girl. Like call your son out and just tell him he's an asshole sometimes.
and notice that she was also a one and done. So much so that she didn't want her child to breastfeed because she never got
Mm.
clocked.
Yeah, she put that
Like,
thing on. He took immediately, and she was like, "Oh, oh."
like
She
what
said,
the
the
fuck is
nurse said,
going
I'll give
on?
you two a moment.
The black nurse.
Shout out to her. Listen, again, the writer's room, y'all are funny as hell because that was a moment for me. She said, I'll give you two a moment.
And it was
No.
right then and there. He's been on his mama. Listen,
And she
Jocelyn
felt
Hernandez said it
responsible to
best.
breastfeed him basically through his 18 years of life. That's what this
That's
is
what I'm
giving.
saying.
Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just so
he's not your
fucking
boyfriend,
good.
sis. They're trying to tell some moms like your son can't be your husband or your boyfriend. He's not, and he won't be, no
It will
matter
never
what you
be.
do. He will never be. He can't be and shouldn't be. Seek help. Call the
More
lady.
importantly,
Call the lady. Or as the children say, call the lady. This is what the Gen Alphas
what
say.
what
Call the
Freud
lady.
what Freud has said.
Um,
Mm.
call
Just
the
Google it,
lady.
y'all. I remember Freud. Yeah, in philosophy, we did see that quote. Freud did say, "Call the lady."
Yes. Okay,
it,
yeah,
it
no,
was
call the
just
lady.
too much going on. Okay, so Pastor Pete, let's talk a little bit more about that. That was a
I
subplot,
was just thinking
even
about
though
him. That support was actually quite good. I was
it was
very
a
like,
very interesting
yeah,
subplot.
because while we have one murder mystery going on, obviously the detectives are trying to figure it out, not just Sophie trying to clear her name. The detectives are trying to figure it out because there is one actual police officer in the whole sheriff's office who was like, hey, I think we should do our actual jobs and investigate the whole murder. and not just go on what your redheaded wife says in bed when she's pegging you. Okay, I don't think we should just pin it on the girl she doesn't like because she's
Miss
fucking her girlfriend.
Salazar was like, I know you
Shout
are
out to
lying.
you. She said,
Shout
"Sir,
out
I
to
need you
her
to actually
and her
do your
limp.
job."
She was limping like an
Okay,
old school pimp.
and she was on leave and she was still making these boys clock in. She said, first of all, we find out, okay? You sound stupid. We are Texans. You're talking about a one shot to the head killed this girl, and this girl's from Boston. You think a Bostonian did it in the woods of 30
Bostonian.
hunters? In a room full of 30 hunters? What are you talking about?
Even like
Be
when he
fucking
said
for
that
real. She told them.
during the press conference when he was like, we're not looking at that for any, we're not looking at him for anything else, and she's like,
No.
no, but even though she was wrong,
Mm-hmm.
or was she? Was she wrong? Yeah, she was
No,
wrong
she
because she
wasn't
thought
wrong.
that she thought that he killed Abby, but he
Yeah,
didn't
at
kill
the
Abby.
time, but
Yeah,
but
at
she
that
had to
time.
investigate,
But then
and she
she
was
went
right. Something was very
exactly,
wrong because what had he
exactly
done? He had abducted two girlies, and one she was already looking for, which is why she was like, "Oh, it's all piecing together. Like we have a missing girl, we have a dead girl, and then for all she knew, Detective Salazar knew Casey Crummell was dead. You know what I mean?
right.
So then he's just killing
I
little
was so
girls. So
happy to see that when the
that was
girl said
shocking.
that was shocking when she said, "Oh, she was like, oh, get us out of here." I'm like, us, like who's
He was like,
us?
"Yeah, he
Did
took
Abby
us." I
really
said,
not die? Was that
"What?"
another, like what really happened?
No, I
And then
saw a shot
it
to the
was
brain.
Casey. It was it was the missing girl. I was like, I was so happy because I did not. I'll be honest. I quite frankly didn't give a fuck about that murder because we didn't know anything about it. We led into it with that missing girl or whatever. I assumed it was a murder.
Right.
But when they said that she was alive and she was like, get out, I'm like, I'm so glad this girl can go home to her baby. And
Yes.
also, we found the missing woman. Like we did it.
Right. Also, there wasn't enough. I mean, I guess we didn't have time and it wasn't a real problem. It was
Yeah,
me.
we
It's me
didn't
asking
really
for 10
know.
episodes when we only really needed 8. It was done correctly. But I just feel like it wasn't enough emphasis or like time spent on like anyone looking for the girl with the baby when she got abducted.
Right.
Like no one made a note that she was also missing. And like her
They're like,
baby,
she
like
said,
I mean, like literally, there was a whole moment where Sophie went to the girl's house because and Star was watching the baby while she
right,
was at camp and mom was at work. So
right.
obviously, somebody would notice that this girl is missing. And also, but maybe
Couldn't be a
Star is
black.
dead. I forgot. Star was shot by Jill.
Now
Because
she don't
Star
have nobody to
rolled
watch
up.
her damn baby when she want to go
Ooh,
out. That's sad because
yeah,
that
that
was
is
really
sad.
helping, not healing her, but it was definitely filling a hole in her heart. She's like, oh, she's just like Abby. She was a
Yeah,
colicky
what
little
is wrong
thing.
with Pastor Pete? He was very weird. It's giving stunted growth. He's a pedophile. He was a pastor
Also,
down in
how old is he
Louisiana.
supposed to be?
He's older than them. Like he's in his 20s. He's a youth pastor. Youth pastors are always in their 20s.
He's
Like,
probably at
oh,
least a good 26. I feel he's supposed to
yes,
be.
which still these are high schoolers. So at the oldest, these kids are 18. Like, and he
Right.
shouldn't
And
be talking even to an 18-year-old because they're
they just
y'all are
turned
talking
18.
about two,
Like, that
you're
doesn't
right,
make
your
any sense.
developmental needs are different. You're 26, your frontal lobe has developed. They are not.
But then he was also in a whole
They
nother
are very
state
easily
when
impressionable.
like the police officer said, "Ooh, I thought I would never have to talk about this guy again." And I'm like, "What did he do? This man, thank
I
God.
think that's the whole thing is that
Thank
he was doing this
God."
to the girlies over there
But why are you
at the
allowed to
church.
just go in and it's known and you're allowed to just go to
That's
another
so weird
freaking,
because
like, that is
yes, this church
crazy.
here, Jill's husband was saying like this is not Louisiana. Like we don't have a tolerance for this. I'm like, okay, so then why did you hire him if you knew it? I don't understand.
There's
I
a
think that
difference.
I find it very interesting that like unless like you're someone who subscribes to this specific these specific politics, you found probably nothing that they integrated all of the the actual culture of conservative Southern Republicans so well that you don't even notice. Like they integrated it so much in the dialogue, like you don't notice it
Yep.
until unless you are not a subscriber to it, and then you're just like, what? Why would you? First of all, this is the problem with the church and the priests, because why do y'all keep knowing this and hiring these boys? I don't understand it. Thinking you can reform them if you keep a closer eye on them. Do not put them with the youth. What is the problem? I don't understand. But in their mind, they're like, yeah, this is what, girl, hello. We
And I'm
always keep
just
a
like,
close eye, and then it becomes a headline in 2 to 6 months. And
it's
then the View
literally
talks about it
insane.
for 5 minutes, and then we do it all over again every 14
And you
months.
cover it up, and you make up scholarships, and you make up this, and you make up that. It just,
You
and
transfer
I'm
these boys
sorry,
from
like
church
I
to
was, but I
church.
do appreciate that they didn't focus on having, because there was already so much gay shit going on that they did not have like the messy secret gay relationship. Like I think that
Right.
Callie and her husband was like enough representation. Like this is for the girls. This is for
No,
the
yeah, no, this is for the
lesbians.
girls. In
And,
fact,
like,
I really saw in there the idea of like, even for Callie, like, no matter what, even though these women are like, this is what we believe, this is who we are. Sure, you're entitled to those beliefs. This is who we are. But truly, when they follow their heart and they follow their desires, it's in the hands of a woman. Even when it's their girlies, like for
in
brunching
the
and
heart of a
wifing. And
woman.
okay, no, seriously. And I think that that was like, I liked that part of the show, even is like, whether they were at what Coyote Joe's and taking shots, or at brunch and hunting every single month or whatever, and then taking sips and then having a good time, or literally in between each other's legs, they found their happiest moments. Like they could only deal with their husbands if they got sufficient girl time. And I love
And
that for
that's
them,
real.
honestly. That's so tea. Like
That's fucking
if
real.
if you don't have a little Kiki with your good sisters or more, then
Exactly.
what are we
Exactly.
doing? Like, what are we doing? Like,
It
Sally's
was
like,
like,
I am the best sheriff's wife because I have Margo. Please, Margo, you can't leave me, because then we become less powerful. And I love you. Like for real. I want to have it
simple.
all. I want to have a big house. This man, she even said it, she's happy with it. She's like, I know we can never be together, but like, why can't we just be together like old times? And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
she
And
sits with
this
it.
fucking blonde bitch like just comes in
She's
and
like, what
shiny
are you
new
doing?
toy.
We are Texas
Crazy.
lesbians. What is this boss? What is she doing? Coming here with her murderous behavior and her
And her
terrible
fucking
gun
son
habits,
and her fucking
irresponsible.
annoying ass husband and her
Yeah,
rule followings and her asking me what I do for work. Like, bitch, what the fuck? I don't give a
bitch,
like,
what?
are you kidding me?
What do you do for rich?
Such a
Okay,
good show. And it
it
would
was
kill
so
me when
good.
Sophie is like, oh, this man is following me, but it was probably someone the lib sent. Shut up, girl. Like, lib said, it's someone the lib sent. Like, please, shut the fuck
Yeah, and
up.
I don't even actually think that Sophie
She doesn't
ended
subscribe
up
to that.
subscribing to the
No,
same things.
she's trying
I
to just
think
like
she genuinely just
blend
also
in, kind of.
respected these. Yeah, but also
Yeah,
she like these women. It's interesting because she's the liberal, but these women do whatever the hell they want, and they're very free in that sense. And them doing that and kind of like redefining the rules, she saw them so differently the more she got to hang around them, especially Margo, that she was like disarmed in a sense of like it's not as
because it's
bad as
like,
you think.
oh, these people are Republican and they live this way. But I'm like, yeah, but that's the whole fucking point. What they're saying and what they're doing are two different
Yes,
things.
exactly. What they are saying and what they are doing are two different things, and yet they have the power to judge you and put you in jail for
Insane.
it. The fact that they were debating on blaming it on this white blonde bitch who tried to take her girlfriend from her, or blaming it on illegal immigrants, is ridiculous. I was like,
Real.
oh
but it made sense because
But
that's
it
what's
did. And
happening.
that was a real
And
conversation.
I'm like,
And she still selfishly was like, we're going to go actually with my own agenda. This helps me better. I said, never be mine.
it was
That
literally
both are
watching. I don't
terrible.
know if you watched The Boys, but it was like kind of watching like a female mashup of like The Boys
The
because they don't
boys.
they will The Boys on Amazon Prime, like people will be fans of, there's two kind of fans of like the villain Homelander. And one kind of fan is, this guy is clearly a parody of the Orange Man. And then there's a second kind that literally idolize this man because he's a parody of the Orange Man. And even the actor is like, why do you like me? Like he has such a, he plays the role so well, but he also like is like, you should not be idolizing this
Right.
character. It's crazy to him.
Exactly.
And he's like from Australia or New Zealand, one of them, Anthony Starr. He's really, really good. But he's also just like, this is not what you should be liking. And like, even the writer is like, why are you calling this season woke when the entire show has been mocking this character since the beginning of the inception of the show? And
Right.
it's so funny. It's like,
Yes.
are you in on the joke, or do you think that like what
Or
are
do
you
you not
thinking?
get it? Because
Yeah.
like I'm here to also tell the girlies who find hunting wives like offensive. They actually integrated your ideology so well and non like critically that if you have a problem with it and you think it sounds like they were taking shots at you, it's because you are realizing how ridiculous you sound out loud. That's all it is. I'm here to tell you because they did not, and I'm looking for it. I'm a person that watches the good fight and watches the good fight. Like I am a person I saw the South Park episode, the SNL. They did not at all dog whistle the liberal agenda. They literally let y'all live and have it. And they didn't make commentary. There were so many moments where I was wanting Sophie's facial expression to give judgment a little bit more. Like when Star said, are you calling my child a murderer? When she said, I think that Abby might have had an abortion. And then so Star's answer to that is to go be a murderer. It's bananas. Like you said, hello, what you're saying and what you're doing, okay? But the fact that she said, are you calling my child a murderer? I was like, Brittany, please, in this moment, I need you to listen to me and say, and just
She
furrow
became
your
Brittany
brows
and not
a little bit
Sophie.
more. Yes. I said, Brittany, I need you to furrow your brows a little bit more just to stick it to the American Eagle people, okay? Just to stick it to them. Furrow your brows and go,
Titties McGree.
murderer. Like, I just wanted her to do like a little bit more, but she didn't. They did not subscribe to us. This show was literally for the gay Republicans. Like y'all are fine. If
You
you
are
had a
seen.
problem to the point where real Republicans I've seen be like, this show was great. I loved it. It was really good. They're like, because there are a lot of,
They're like, oh,
famously,
we're bringing back
no,
traditional
yeah,
values and all
no,
this.
but
And
like
I'm like,
famously, Republicans are like, there are gay Republicans. We do gay. We understand
yeah,
gay. We do believe in the gay. So we do want to see representation, but we also believe in these things and ideologies. And in which I'm like, oh, they got themselves a
interesting.
show. I'm not bothered by it. Again, we watch Bravo. I watched Southern Charm Savannah. That is the same thing, if
I
not worse.
didn't even
That
bother with
was
that show.
reality. Exactly. So everyone calm down about like that part. I'm like, if they liked it and then you didn't, it's because you feel a hit dog will holler. I'm
Yeah.
here to tell you. Because also liberals, if you feel a little bit too overly like you can't watch it because of how seamlessly they did integrate the ideology, and you can't see past how they also though are writing in critique of it in the way that they are showing how it is impossible
That's why
to
I
judge
reckon with
lest you be
myself.
judged.
I reckon with myself, and I'm like, am I helping these people? But then I'm like, I'm also gonna watch an episode of Jocelyn Cabaret after this. So like, it's pretty
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
Like,
It's all about
like
balance. Good TV
having
is good
fun.
TV. It's not like they're telling me what to do or who to vote for. In fact, they didn't even get
And
into
I
actual
also feel like they're
politics, even though he's
literally,
running for governor.
exactly. I'm like, they're literally pointing out the hypocrisy in it and actually helping my
Right.
cause. So you know
Yes.
what? actually need this to get talked about more. It was parodied on Jimmy Fallon. So I'm like, I hope that they know now that it's made it to the lib media that we're laughing at it. Like
We're laughing at you.
not
But if
with you.
y'all are laughing with the show, they did write it for y'all to laugh with.
Yeah.
And I think both
With
things
both
are
in
good. I
mind.
actually feel like this show was really well written for both groups of people to,
Insane.
to find something to latch on to. Like,
Insane.
because at the end of the day, all of us on all sides are horny as fuck. And this show is all sex.
Exactly. Like
It's
one thing
just all
about me,
sex.
if you tell me a show has a lot of sex in it, I'm gonna watch it. I
This show was
literally
like
famously
full
met many
frontal
of you
lesbian sex.
guys.
I haven't seen this on Netflix since Orange is the New Black, season
This is giving
Pooh
HBO.
Stays Pooh Stays episode. I haven't seen this much since which starts great, ends tragically. But
Wait, what a way
That
to
was the
go.
last time I saw full frontal let's girlies get it on, and it was very short lived, 38 seconds.
It's giving
So
HBO. It's giving
girl,
HBO type.
this was Showtime.
Ooh,
This
Showtime at
gave me
night back
old
in the
school
day.
the L word,
Okay.
okay?
When you
Which
used to put the TV on last on Nick at
girl,
Night.
bitch, how do you know? How do you know
Because you
exactly?
got me. Like, hello.
Because I just with me and my wife, we're rewatching the L Word very passively. Like we're watching so many things, but we're also rewatching the L Word, like the original. And because I just wanted a little full frontal and every 5 minutes for dinner, why not? I'm an adult, and so that's
Hell
our
yeah.
rebellion. Because when I was in college and I was still living at home, I was like,
You
low.
can put
It's
it
2
on
a.m.
last.
It's 2 a.m. It's on low. My mom
No.
was like, "Hey, you up?"
Exactly. Put that right on last. Up.
Back
What friends? I'll be there for
there for
you.
you.
It was there for
For
me, all right.
me.
It was there
Okay,
for
it
me,
was
all right.
absolutely that. It was that.
Okay.
But this is what this show is giving that level of sexy, sexy. Okay, it
So
is
good.
giving, and it's believable. Good job, girls.
They did a phenomenal job,
Well
like from
choreographed.
from the writers to the actresses to down to the diva that sings the opening credits song. Okay, I gotta
Diva, diva,
tip my hat. Okay,
diva.
okay. So now that we're wrapping up, what would you like to see in season 2? That would be my last question.
I feel strongly that my prediction is that Margot has to go home. She still has to go to Jed because in order for her to get Sophie back or back at Sophie, either one, she needs to be by Jed's side. Also, we saw Jed getting some head from his campaign manager. Um, that lady looked clocked in. They were angry and horny as well.
Same.
It was very interesting. But I feel like he can't switch wives mid campaign. Like that just can't happen. And he can't get divorced in the middle of this campaign. They actually need each other because they've already started this journey. And so I think she should go home, reconcile with Jed, promise no more boys, no more men, no more girls, even. He can do whatever he wants, but maybe she's on lockdown or whatever. I don't know. But she gets back at Sophie, or she only has Sophie. And then maybe Sophie. I don't know. I don't want to see Grant for long, though. I know that. I do want to see more of the other two girls. The blonde one, who, though a bimbo and didn't have a lot of lines, rode the fuck out of that bull, okay? And so I want
Yeah.
more of her because the hips on that Barbie is crazy. And the black girl,
Body.
because I want to
Hello.
hear, there's always one. And that's the thing. I feel
There's
like
always one.
that is what I'm saying. Is like they wrote this so specifically. There were so many moments that I was like,
I
"Are
see
y'all
her.
making fun of them, or are y'all giving them representation?" I really don't know, and that is how well it was written. Because there is always a one. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna lie. In middle school, she was me. I needed to be
You
that
have
girl
to
for survival.
literally adapt to your
I was the lone
surroundings.
black in my girl of white girlies. And they start hunting early. Let me tell you, they start hunting young and early. And I love how Margot had to make them all sign NDAs to do regular because they did regular shit. because they're Texans and Republicans, it was like scandal. She was like, remember we were all high in Mexico? Oh my God. Dancing on
But I
bars.
didn't like when the black girl when she made the black girl. She's like, "Hey, remember that Cartier bracelet you stole? Like, why she gotta be the thief?" But
Why she
okay,
gotta be that
like
thief?
okay, whatever. Clock. Okay, so
She
I
said, yeah, and
guess
it was like, but also like, why are y'all stealing just for the thrills? That's so like eighth
exactly
grade. I knew girls who did that in eighth grade, and they were like,
right. And I'm like, what the fuck?
and they
Most
were
people are
not the
stealing
black
these
girls.
thieves.
Newsflash.
It wasn't.
They were the heavy bang over, low key gauged skater. She was a skater boy. Vans on the way to Hot Topic, running through Nordstrom's, picking up sunglasses. Okay, okay.
Exactly.
So that was funny. That was funny to me. But Jill freaked the fuck out over that.
I would like for it to. I feel like the next. I feel like the next victim. I don't even know. Wait, it was. It's only one book, right?
It was a standalone book, so technically the second season is a free for all. It was the show was meant to. The show was written, according to the sources. The show was written, designed to be at least a second season, like to be a series. So it's
I would
gonna
like
continue.
Sophie's husband to die in the second season, and I would like.
For what reason, friend? Wait, why? What do you do? Talk
I
too
think.
much?
I think
Terrible haircut.
a straight white man getting in the way of the
We
lesbian.
don't need that many on this show.
Like we got
I
Jeff.
want
We
my
got Reggie.
Republicans. I
Yeah,
want my
I
my
wanted
Republicans
straight because he was
lesbians.
also
I
like
want them all
guns.
lesbians.
Guns.
Yeah,
We will never do but he wanted her to be so close to Margo, and he wanted her to, get him in rooms that he needs to be in, and his boss
and
and all
she
that.
did. She did. She
And
upgraded you. You're
she did,
welcome.
and
You're
she did,
welcome.
and she found a new side of herself. So I want him
Okay.
to be one of the murdered victims. I also, I
She done
also
killed
want
off the husband, y'all.
I obviously know that this is not going to be a Margo and Sophie love story. I think it might be over. I want Callie to go on a
But
murder spree. I
but
want
so,
her
but
to
is it an
find
enemy
out.
story between Margot and Sophie?
I want them to get I want them to fuck again multiple times, but I want Callie to catch it, clock it, and then she does. Maybe she tries to shoot Sophie and she ends up shooting Grant or something. I want Callie to
I
get
think
active.
I actually feel like Callie is gonna it's gonna be Callie v Margot for being like
Ooh,
a queen bee, because remember they're signing on for the reality show. They're doing Truth and Justice or whatever, Marriage and Justice or whatever. They're doing that show,
yeah,
and Margot is trying to run for governor's wife, right? So if she knows that she's in it with Sophie again,
right,
okay, and not in it with Callie gonna
right.
get pissed. And she'll be like, oh, you know what? It's fuck both of y'all. In fact, I'm thinking Margot and both of y'all are killers. How about that? Also, now Sophie is a killer. So her hope to, take, and by the same means
Well, this
of the
is not
previous killing.
the second
So
one. I was about to say this is
I
the
said,
second time.
so Kelly has a real reason
I
to
want her to
go
play
see
Never
that
Have I Ever
husband.
again. Never have I ever killed
Okay.
twice.
Never have I ever done the same crime again. Like
Because
getting away, right?
Allie is now a killer because she killed Jill. So never
Two
have
times to the chest, bop bop,
exactly. Never have I ever shot
over her bitch.
like
She said, "Well, what we're not gonna do is
it's
pull a gun on my
so
baby.
good, you guys. It's
You're not pulling a gun on my honey bunny, okay? And if y'all don't want to peep that kind of energy with some turned up Texas hair and some twang and bull riding and country music, there are guns galore. There is, sex galore of all kinds. So
it just
if
makes
y'all don't
me
want to do that, get you
feel
some.
it's gonna be controversial, but I would
Oh,
fight in a controversial way. This show makes me feel very American.
okay, for real, same. Oh my God, Kyle, wait, same. First of all, it reminds me of a simpler time. The Republicans of my day, of yesteryear, um, who just wanted their guns and to say bless your heart and spew their stuff and be left alone.
I
And
think
this was
that
like an
I
old
make
time.
it's on my podcast in case like, you release it separately, I release it separately. I made it obvious on my podcast, like there's Republicans and then there's MAGA. What we're dealing with is not
There's a different, yeah. This the
we're
Hunting Wives to me was for the girlies of the yesteryear, where once upon a time you could conceptualize or have concepts of a plan of reaching across the aisle. You know
that's
what I'm saying? Those were the days. Those were the days. The Bush Republicans were like the worst things. Were Katrina?
like while I did not agree, I respected that,
I respected.
especially
We
when
could
someone will be like,
respect.
you know what, actually I'm fiscally Republican, but
In fact, it was the
socially
kind of Republicans
different.
that
I'm
would accept a girl like Sophie into their group and just be like, girl, we're gonna do what we're gonna do
right. Like,
regardless.
like
Like, you're
go
weird,
to
you're a
church
Yankee.
every Sunday.
They were still 100% themselves. It was Sophie that acquiesced and adapted every single time. So it's them that are like, they didn't throw her out. You know what I mean? Like, they're different. What you're saying is true.
Exactly. But
It's a different
made
breed.
me feel very American. It made
It
me feel
did.
like, wow, like I what a
Girl,
great
I wanted to
show.
go to the range a little bit. Shout out to your reel. Okay.
Listen,
About 3 seconds into that theme song, you're right. Episode 3. And you have the
like
hat
three, I'm
on,
like, hold on, don't
bandana
skip shit.
on.
Don't skip shit. Okay, I'm
Listen
going
to
to
it every
rodeo.
time.
I'm getting me some hats between Cowboy Carter and this show. Like, I just feel
This is
like,
the
you know what?
perfect
I
time for
am
this.
country. Been country. And,
First of
and listen, with
all,
this show, country.
okay, country, because in my opinion, in my mind, the black girl on this show, which we need a name for the two side characters. I want fleshed out characters for them too. I want them
It
more
wasn't,
included, especially since Jill is gone.
it was her.
Um, I want her. In my world, right? I think there's a world where she subscribes to what she subscribes to. She's in Texas, but she also loves Beyonce, and she went to
Right.
Cowboy Carter, and she just had a grand old
Give her,
time.
you know what? Give her a fucking white mama. Like, give her a white mama
Right.
and
Oh, no, she
give
got a
her
white
a
husband. Swear to
backstory.
God. I know she has a white husband.
Yeah, of course she has a white husband. And then give
Of
her a
course
white
she
husband,
does.
give her a white mama, give her a tragic backstory, like Lainey, the real life girl. What's her name? The country singer that's on Blackbird with Beyonce. She has
Oh, yes.
a tragic backstory. Like, that shit breaks my heart. Give her a
Mm,
similar backstory. Obviously, don't base it on her. Like, get her to do the soundtrack for when she come on the screen. And
right.
like, give her some more. We're down a wife. We're down with
We
Jill.
are Donna
So
White,
now
so there is
we can
space for those
step
two
up.
girls to step up to the plate and go from being friends of to full-time housewife, you see. Okay, and that's what I want. I want more of them. And I want 10 episodes. Thanks so much. I don't think that's much to ask, Netflix. I had to stop ordering 8. I recognize it was for Stars. Maybe that was Stars' plan. I don't know. I can't imagine it, but sure. Stars makes
Monet.
weird
Her
decisions.
name is Monet.
Girl, with a name like Monet, let's get
With a
it. Let's
name
get it
like
popping.
Monet, at least they named
Okay?
her properly. Shout out to the writers' room for naming her Monet.
Exactly. Kayla, again, thank you for your service and your talent and your gifts and abilities that the good Lord of Texas
And,
gave you.
I want to know, please, Kayla,
Kayla.
is her name Monet as a play on Mary J. Blige's character from Power that was on Stars? Because that would be hilarious. Were you
That
watching
would be
Power?
hilarious.
Like, were y'all
Can
watching
you just
Power?
find
And it's like,
out what
it's
why?
spelled differently. It's spelled
But
differently, but she's like, hey, I
sis,
like that name, Monet. And
it's
Monet
Kayla.
died on Power. Okay, so she reincarnated
Kayla.
the Hunting Wives, baby. Let me know. And that's
Kayla,
my lore.
girl,
That's my lore
thank
for how
you.
it is.
Thank you for your service. Shout out to your mama for like tapping in and letting me know that you're a queen and that you guys wrote this show
Hate that.
and did an incredible job. I wish you so many amazing sweets and calories in your next writing room. I wish you much success in many seasons to come. I wish a renewal like tomorrow. Like we're trying to get the word out as best we can, Kayla, so that you can
And
get a
it's
renewal
spreading
tomorrow
like
because
wildfire.
I have questions. It
It's spreading
is.
like
For
wildfire.
better or worse, BuzzFeed is letting the girls, like everybody's letting the girls know if y'all not watching,
But even
this
people
shit
are
is so
like, do
good.
you know how many DMs I fucking got? And even in my comment section, people are like,
Same.
"Oh, okay, I'm gonna watch it now," or "Oh, I heard y'all talk about it on the Love Island episode, so I'm gonna watch it now." Girlies, if you start watching,
Exactly.
comment below on Spotify or comment on Patreon, comment where
Yes.
you're watching this. Make sure you let us know like what you thought was gonna happen. Did you call it? Did you know it was Margo? Did you go back and forth? What do you want to see next season? Just give us all of your thoughts. DM us, tweet us, text us. Well, I'm not on Twitter. Thread us, TikTok,
Yes.
all the things. Hit us up and let us
For
know.
real, girls. Girls, squirrels, gays, theys, Republicans in Texas,
Republic.
welcome. If you are a gay Republican in Texas, listen, for at least the time being, have a home. Love it here. Airbnb. But like we stand the hunting wives, we think this representation is fantastic for y'all. Probably the best you've gotten in a really long time. So I really
Only
just
only
in the
the
cast.
wait, hold on. Only the Republicans that will save us in the race war that is coming. If you wouldn't save us in the race
Yeah.
war, you're not allowed. Okay.
And I don't even know how you got here, truly, because we're just two black black girls talking about y'all shit. Okay,
Wait,
listen,
what did I
listen.
say to get you here? Did I
I wanted to
mention?
be a Drake. This is the best Drake I could be, where I take on someone else's culture, you know. And I loved it. Listen, this is it made me feel American because I got to participate in what is literally American culture right now, without it hurting or affecting me because I'm in my own home, living my life
Right.
with my
The only thing
popcorn and
that
my
it
gay
made me
life,
want
you
to do
know?
like go to Bass Pro Shops and like listen to some Beyonce and get like just dress country. Like that's
No, honestly, it did make
other
me
than
kind
that,
of want to go shooting because I do, yeah, I do. I think that looked like that was actually really hot.
I just think
Margo, I didn't, that made me, that was much more sapphic than it ever had been before. I will tell you that. Like, good job, Margo.
that
Good
was so
job,
hot.
cast.
Like,
Good job,
oh,
writers. Y'all really killed this show. You ate it up. Me and Kaya had a blast listening. I mean, watching it. We had a blast, like making content about it, and we had a blast talking about it. And like, this was the time of my life. So thank y'all so much for listening and for going on this journey with us because I put a poll up and people were like, "Yeah, no, I would actually like you to talk about it." I was like, "Okay." Glad we can influence the girlies. So if y'all want to go see that reel though, that got some of the even the cast of the show's attention that
oh my
Kaya
god,
made on
Callie.
Bravo while Black, where can they find you so that they can see that and then go listen to our other episode?
Hell yeah. At Bravo Wild Black, and the podcast is called Bravo Weird Black. Thank you for listening. Thank you for commenting on the reel. And Monty, let people know where to find you.
Yes, y'all. Hey, I'm here again. I'm out there in these streets, and y'all have been really eating it up. I'm so grateful. Thank you. A teacher. I'm going back to the classroom because they called me
Oh, send me
back, and times are hard. Oh my God, my what?
a
My
teacher's list.
yes, please, thank you.
Send me a link.
Yes, girls, we're going back so soon. So I'm actually gonna push out a lot of content because I have to disassociate from the fact that I'm going back in less than 15 days.
Yeah.
So please be aware of that. Y'all can find me at The Mix with Monty on the podcast apps, on Spotify, podcast, Apple, all those things. After you listen to Kaya, come and listen to me. More to come and some hot topics and stuff from there. And then on Instagram at Mixing with Monty, MIXING WITHMANI, and on Threads. And the Eddie has kicked in. So that brings us to a close. Thank you guys.
I'm gonna send y'all off with a southern saying. Y'all come
Mm.
back now, you hear?
Bless your heart.
Bye.
Bye.